Welcome everyone, here's another fascinating action figure from Mattel that comes from the Barbie line. And as usual, Mattel is very creative and comes out with some very interesting action figures. And this is an action figure, as the proper definition is, which means it has to be 12 inches, it has to have real clothing, and has to be have many articulations. It's a doll when it doesn't have many articulations, and of course, traditional Barbies are meant to change clothes on, and that becomes a doll. Now, this is in the made-to-move Barbie line, which is quite interesting because it is highly articulated. It's also a karate Barbie, including having a cool trophy, a board that's broken, that can be broken, and of course, lots of movement. So this is a whole step in the Barbie line to make more active figures for their doll line or their female line, but I don't know why this necessarily has to be for a girl. Here we go. Martial arts. This actually came from Greece of all places. And it shows you the different lines, and here's the main three action movements: a karate, skateboard. I think the other one's a soccer player. And of course, I find it bizarre that women dolls are strictly for fashion. I mean, women need to be active, they need to be involved in the sciences, etc. I mean, this is part of being in this lifestyle. It's also strange that female dolls, which are starting to become more, or action figures, are becoming more popular with males as well, as they're making many types of female action figures, so to speak, that are quite sexy, quite interesting. And I've always found it odd that people want to put figures of men up there because that's kind of macho. I'd prefer to look at a female than a male body anytime. So why you wouldn't mix your collections with these is just kind of strange. And of course, society tells you all sorts of garbage and most people follow it. How nice. So this is a cool look here. I think this was a great addition to anybody's 12-inch action figures. This certainly would go right next to any other martial arts figure as bringing that female energy in to anyone's displays or anything else. And we're going to open this up here and take a look at it and look at the articulation here. And of course, that's the important thing with an action figure. It all really boils down to the actual articulation of the figure. This is what makes it unusual and different. If things are not articulated, then basically you could just buy a statue. And there are, of course, many different statues you can buy, but that's basically what you get. Let me remove this. I always have problems with these goofy things. Okay. So, it's the articulation that counts. But having other accessories, having other outfits, other things, well, I'm not sure there's anything wrong with that. But if you're looking for some cool martial arts displays or figures, certainly there are the other samurai and other type martial arts figures that are out there. And certainly, would this look good in front of it? Well, of course it would. Would this be something to position next to each other? Well, all of that seems to be something that people would get into. And again, it seems to get little notice from the action figure people that how creative Mattel is and how Barbie has expanded from this fashion doll into all sorts of cool things. As I mentioned and will be showing soon, they have a cool line of actual ghost hunter figures. And I'm not talking about Ghostbuster comedy nonsense. These are actually Ghostbusters, which there are so many things on TV now with these Ghostbuster themes. One show after another. And why couldn't that be? Why can't you be hunting demons and other things as an action figure where you have potential, where you have actually potential? Let me show you here how to remove some of those things. Where you have potential action environments. And of course, Mattel had the courage to actually do this as part of their line. They also have some very nice career dolls and so forth, anthropologists, space, etc. I mean, why doesn't we have more of that? I mean, apparently the only thing that is for the male market has to do with killing people. And that's pretty sad in a world that, of course, the controllers want you to kill people. That's what they want to breed. But the point is that that's not a enviable profession. We need to move away from the police, the military, the people who generally tend to constantly be things that people, and start moving into more interesting professions. So let's look at these a little more. Now we can say right off the bat, these have tiny, tiny feet, which makes them standing. You could never stand this up. So why they did that, I have no idea. The articulation is, for Mattel Barbie is quite a bit, but it's not a lot. I mean, it's not very, and it's for one reason or another. It's not. They tried to make it more feminine, but you certainly can move things. I mean, for a Barbie doll, this certainly is a good move. Of course, there are other figures that are made by Mattel, such as Max Steel and others, are excellent action figures, very well made with great articulation. These bend at the knee here and can bend all this way. It also bends at the joint there. So you could certainly do that. So it has pretty good articulation, but you're going to have to use a stand with this. Apparently they didn't want to make real feet, or they thought maybe that was unattractive to have bigger feet. And so forth. It has the usual attractive, and I'm not sure why all Barbies seem to have swan necks. Seems to be way too big of a neck. I'm not sure if that's for changing outfits or not. This also has, of course, a nice little top on here. I don't know if that's supposed to be a yin and yang or Korean karate symbol or not. It's not very clear. It has these kind of white pants. It has a black sash. And you can form this into karate moves. So, as an actual figure, especially if you can get this inexpensively, it certainly is cool. You also get this trophy, this karate trophy, which actually has a female on the trophy itself. So, that in itself is kind of unique. It also comes with this breakaway board. Which is kind of cool. So you have all those features on it. You have the board which you could position. And of course you could use this, as I said, if you want to put another action figure either sparring with or fighting the evil Barbies, where the other action figures come in and start to fight that or whatever it is, or just pose them like that. But as I said, the main drawback with this, it's as usual, it's an attractive figure, and